Hi, Fashion Dolls. It is Motivation Monday, February 24th, and welcome to another new episode of Style by Stevie. Our very special guest today is a fresh new face to the show, and I'm super excited to have him here in the dollhouse with me, hailing all the way from the beautiful part of New York City. Without further ado, please welcome to the dollhouse, Jafet Perez. Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to the dollhouse. We
Welcome
finally
to
get to meet you.
set this up. Right. Yeah, I think that's better.
There we are.
Yeah.
Welcome to the dollhouse. It is such a pleasure to have you here. Happy Monday. Happy 2025. If anyone hasn't told you yet. Oh, before we get into this interview, how has 2025 been for you so far?
Oh my God, I still can't believe they were in it. So fast, things are just going by so quick. Um, so far, it's been great. It's been great. It's been wonderful. Even if things weren't going always my way, I still have this optimistic way about me. You know, um, things just are not in your control a lot of the times. So like you have to get used to being uncomfortable sometimes, a lot of the times, And I think that's what my process has been so far. But besides that, on bright side, everything's been wonderful. It's been great. I'm grateful. I'm happy. I couldn't imagine um, myself being in the situation that I'm in, um, with the people that helped me along the way, that believed in me, that the people who find you, they find you and they support you, friends and family. It's always been great. It's always been wonderful for me. It's been I don't know. I mean, 2025 so far, I'm loving it. I'm really loving it so far. But you know, a lot of times we tell ourselves next year, this year, I'm gonna do this, that. I'm gonna do
Right.
this. And we all are guilty of um of 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 not following up with a lot of the stuff that we do. Procrastination. Procrastination is always a thing for us. But just you know when you wake up in the morning, just tell yourself, do it now. Tell yourself that you're going to do it now. And tell yourself that plenty of times, repeatedly. So you won't fool yourself. You know, you won't fool yourself.
Absolutely. And the audience is agreeing with you. Shout outs to my girl, Mel's Desserts, who's coming back
Let
on the show. She says,
Stevie, at my age right now in time, I choose my words very carefully. I choose my thoughts, my words very carefully because I know they have meaning
yes,
and they translate through people like like a rainstorm, like you call it, like rainstorm, you're being washed over you, like a rainstorm being washed over you. These are things that are very important. So part of life is getting older, as we all know, and what comes with that is having this pre-thought of your your meanings and you in how is it going to translate through people, and you know what I'm saying, because we all are human beings in this world.
absolutely. And in this day and age and in this time, that is very, very key and important that we choose our words, choose what we say, choose what we do, our actions, how we move. And that was actually going to be my first question for you.
I just got into the you know like I just got into that moment. I'm sorry. Sometimes I get in there and I feel good when I'm speaking through there through that space, through the heart.
And that was going to be my first question. What's the most important thing to you? Like, I know with doing this platform, it is definitely a balance with being in the business, and you know this. It is a balance between having to balance out being the performer, the entertainer, being on stage, being on film. You attended the SAG Awards
Yeah.
party yesterday, and we'll get into that. But we talk a lot about balance, and that was going to be my first question for you. What's the most important thing to you throughout your career?
if if I can't have nothing, like nothing at all, the one thing that I I won't substitute for anything would probably be my nature. You know, being around nature, because nature is God,
Yes.
and that's where that's where that's where I get most of my understanding and most of my uh, balance. Whenever I feel like life is going too fast and it's spinning out of my control, I go. I usually go there and look for answers. You know,
That was going to be another question that I was going to ask you. What is the biggest what if in your mind?
what do you mean? What if? Like regret?
Yes, like mindful thought. What is the biggest what if, especially with your career? What is the biggest what if? Like, if I would have done this in my career, this would
Oh
have been different.
no,
Yeah,
I don't have much of those because they led me to where I'm at. Um, we the, as you experience more in the industry, of TV and film as an actor, you learn to not take things personal. You know, and if something happened to you that somebody did, um, that's that person's problem, not yours. So don't fall into that trap. But I don't really have a what if. You know, I'm like, what if? No, you know, I don't. I don't have time to and energy um, to give it to give it. I don't have that time to give it. Whatever happened happened, and I move forward. I move forward.
well, beauty shot. You guys can see my lips. Camera zoomed in. There we are. There we are. We're back. So, who's someone that you wish was still around to see where you're at in this
Oh
part of your life?
well, that's easy. my father, my father, my father. He's We all have a mother. We all have a father, right?
Yeah.
We all come from somewhere. We all came from somewhere. So wherever that came from, that's where you. That's your tribe. You know, that's your tribe. That's your. That's your tribe, and I wish that I hope I wish that he can be here to see a lot all the things that I'm accomplishing. He passed away about a year and a half ago.
Right.
Um, he was not around because of circumstances, um, but he was. I should have known that he was always around. You know, he was always looking into my social media, checking my stuff, and so it was. It's been difficult sometimes with my father a lot of the times, but we got into a place where we was able to make a lot of peace, and he always supported me. You know, he's the one. My mother and father, they're the two that I get my artistic ways, my my passion for art comes from both of them.
And that was something else I was going to ask you. Like, where did you get this passion for your arts to create, to act from? Where did it come from, and what age did you discover it?
I want to talk about my my first love, which was basketball. I was into sports. You know, I played basketball day and night, relentlessly. You know, you couldn't tell me anything. Um, and that's where I I got all of my discipline. I got all of my work ethic, my 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 drive, my mental drive. You know, my confidence, my ability. You know, that's where most of it came. It brought out the this person that I never thought that I could become. Um, I I've always been shy. You know, Stevie, I've always been shy. I've always been quiet. I've always been this kid that you you just don't really talk to as much because you know I was always, I think it's because of my being maybe just just being like sensitive of people's feelings and how
Right.
don't want to don't want to don't want to say the wrong thing maybe to somebody, you know. So I've always been that. I've always been a shy kid, most of an introvert in my whole life. Um, but the sports, the basketball, back to the basketball and the sports, because it's not necessarily basketball that I want to talk about. I want to talk about the discipline that it gave me of waking up in the morning, heading to practice, being there on time, not, not talking back, listening, you know, and the more this way of this way of doing this way of doing things really sharpened me, really was a sharp, it sharpened my sword. It really did. It sharpened my sword. And I I say that because I translate that into acting, right? I translate all of that work, all of that discipline into this acting, and it's not too far from each other. They're very close. They're very close with each other. Um, so I do. I might have an extra. I think I have an extra bar when it comes to like fighting for things and not and holding on as long as possible until I see it through. You know, I've I've noticed that in myself since I was a kid, since I was younger, just being relentlessly, passionately involved, and not letting um, small details and small things get you off your game.
And I watch you constantly, like we keep in tune with each other. But you're always in the gym. You remind me so much of another actor that I just recently interviewed. And I think you know who I'm talking about, Rico King. Every day with him, he always posts the most motivating, encouraging posts that gets us going through the day. He came out with a whole calendar, and it has like a book of, it has quotes
Yeah,
in them as well too.
yeah.
And every day it's like, okay, Thursday, gotta get up, gotta go exercise, gotta go to the gym, gotta stay encouraged. Every day it's a new quote, it's a new mantra. You remind me so much of him. And I say that in the context because you both keep us encouraged to get up and to do more. And that's what we need during these times. That's very important. And I see your determination. I see your drive. You've done so. We're going to go through your acting catalog in a minute, but I wanted to know, how do we get to this point and what keeps you going? Because we all have something that keeps me going. I do this platform because my mother, and I'm thankful for her. I'm thankful to have her. Some people, like you said, don't have their parents still. My mother and my father, I have both of my parents. And my mother is the reason why I keep going constantly and I do this platform for her. And not just her, but for the women in my family. My grandmother, who is 80 years old, and I talk about her all the time, she's still alive and living. And I tease and I say she has the spirit of a 20-year-old, the same type of bubbly, quirky personality that I have. She has that same personality as well too, where she's fun, she's outgoing, she likes to have a good time.
Yeah.
And these women are very, very important to me. So they're the reason why I do what I do, my grandmother and my mother. And we talk about being in the world of fashion, we see diamonds, we see all of these things, we see beauty. The most precious diamond that anybody can have is their mother, is their
Yeah.
parents, is their family. That is a bond that's unbreakable. We talk about the black diamond. The black diamond is the toughest to cut. And I'm so thankful to have my mother backing me 100%.
Yeah.
I had to ask, where does that support system look like for you? Where does it come from?
That's a good question. Your biggest supporter is going to be yourself.
Yes.
That's that's um that's the first thing I want to say about that when it comes to support. Now, with that being said, is what's that saying they said, if you want to go somewhere, go by yourself or something like that. But if you want to get there quicker, you go with a group of people. You know, you go together in one.
And it's key, it's critical, it's important that we continue to surround ourselves with people that uplift us. Like I said, my mother, my grandmother, um, I'm thankful to have my siblings. I have four brothers, and you're in the New York area, so I have family out there in Brooklyn and Brownsville, and some family just came down yesterday to visit from New
Yeah.
York, a part of my dad's sister's family.
Mm-hmm.
So we all keep in contact with each other, and it's important that we keep forming villages and continue to be in proximity with one another as it pertains to family, as it pertains to as it pertains to friends and family. We keep in touch with one another. Like my cousin, I have a cousin, and she's in North Carolina, and I text her every weekend, and we'll be like, girl, what you doing? Girl, I'm coming out here, I'm going shopping or whatever, because we would always go shopping together. That's what we would do before the pandemic hit. And then it's just like everybody just
Yeah.
scattered. But um we all had like a group where we would keep in touch with each other, the family. You know, some is in Maryland. Some of my family's in Maryland. Some of my family's in New York. And she came down here from New York, and now she's in North Carolina. I have a brother in North Carolina as well too. That's one of the four brothers I was telling you about. I have two sisters also. So a pretty big family, but it's difficult for all of us to keep in touch with one another with our work schedules and everything. So I just had to ask, like, what keeps you growing? Now, speaking of
Well,
growing,
well, I do have a burning desire. Also, I have a, you know, unfulfilled. I tap into unfulfilled um, things that in my life that I haven't completed, like unfulfilled things that I have not completed. I have a twin brother, also supportive. I have another younger brother, supportive. My sister is my biggest inspiration. You know, um, she used to take care of me she was my babysitter when I was a kid, you know. She was first babysitter. So she's of course she's always been the guiding light in my family. My mother is also a very strong woman, raised four kids pretty much on her own. So that tells you something. So yes, those family those family members of mine, they've always been um, um, part of the reason why I do this. Also, why where I get it from. So there's a difference between like support and then inspiration. You know, so where are you as an artist going to go to keep getting inspired, right? And to
yes,
keep waking up in the morning and wanting to do this thing that nobody really gives a damn about. You know, this is yours. This is for you. You know, this is not for you to uh, be upset or be happy that somebody doesn't like it or doesn't reply. or it's not, this is yours first. This is for me first. So I, with the utmost respect, could care less what the people care about, think about it, because I like it. I love it. I want it. I'm the one that appreciates it the most, right? So I'm like, of course you know, things sometimes can be hurtful, how people respond to it and criticize it and things, but it's for you. This is for you. Remember, this is something that you told yourself that you want to do. You know,
Yes.
this is something that you are fighting for all the time. This is something that you love to do, and this is something that makes you happy. So I'm like, no, I, I'm not getting caught up in that in that space. I'm not getting caught up in that world. Even though, yes, does it affect me sometimes? Yes, it does. Of course, we're human beings. We have emotions. We're happy. We're sad. So things affect us whether we like it or not. But we have to find ways to like just go back to that place where you know that it's yours. It's for you first.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And my mother, she would tell me this all the time. She would say, what's for you is for you. Nobody can't take that away from you. You have a purpose. And I also make vision boards as well,
Oh
too. So,
yeah.
so it's like
Yeah.
everything that I put on my vision board has come to fruition. And I did a little, it's in my stories. I have so much in
Yeah.
my stories. I put it
Yeah.
on my stories where you
Yeah.
guys could see what I wanted to do on my vision board.
Yes.
And I'm looking
Yes.
across the room
Yes. Yes.
right now.
Yes.
One of the words is reveal.
Wow.
I'm very private about myself. And I said, this is the year for transparency.
Yes.
Because when you share your story with the world,
Yes.
people might be going through a similar situation and might know exactly what to do in that point in time as well too. When you're open and you're transparent. I'm a Scorpio.
Yeah.
So we're very private, we're very intimate. We keep things to
Yeah.
ourselves. And one thing I've learned from the previous season all the way up until the pandemic, when I was still doing the interviews as well too, still doing them, I wanted to be more transparent with the world. So find something that you want to work on about yourself and keep going. Now, for you, if you had a superpower, because we talk about strength, one of my strengths is revealing and telling stories and allowing people to tell their stories on my platform. So for you, what is your best superpower?
Um, that superpower is a good question again. It's a tie between like teleporting, being able to teleport, and of course like flying. Flying has always been a thing. But growing up watching a lot of X-Men and things, so like I used to like the Nightcrawler was one of the characters, and he'd be able to just like teleport everywhere at a given time. Whenever you're in a situation, um, because you think about it, the reason why those two kind of like go for me to like is a draw, is because like flying, in order for me to get to where I got to go to, I have to fly there. But if I could just teleport there, well, that saves me a lot of time, even more time, don't you think? And also maybe because the Nightcrawler, he's like kind of like a cat, sort of. I kind
Yep.
of without me even knowing, I think like I like cats. Cats always were interesting to me, or when I was younger. Like I like dogs. I like all animals. I love all animals in the world. Like cats were always just very sophisticated and very pre-planned. Their demise, their just their way of going about things, which is always just interesting. It's like they're very unpredictable. I would say. So I think that's why. So teleporting and flying, those two.
And that exactly what I was going to say. You took the words right out of my mouth. So, have you made space in your life for what you wanted in your career?
Have I made space?
Mm-hmm. Like,
Yeah,
have you, like I just said about goals,
yeah,
almost everything that I put on the vision board, have you
yeah.
made space for everything that you
Oh,
want in your
definitely.
career and more into
I
yourself?
mean, oh yeah, definitely. It's like, affirmations. You gotta have these affirmations. You gotta have these vision walls, like you said. Um, you have to make you have to make space. You have to make a safe space for yourself. Um, when I look at you, you know what's crazy though, Stevie? When I see you like in the interviews, when I looked at them, I'm like, look, this person like it's love themselves. I'm like, how much more can you freaking love yourself? You're always glamorous. You're always in a space. It's just like it's amazing. I love seeing that. It just makes me feel like you need to be proud of yourself. You have to be proud of yourself, no matter what. Celebrate your wins. You also celebrate your wins, even the small ones, the middle ones, the big ones. Who cares? Celebrate. I'm a Spanish descent. I come from a Latino family, right? I grew up, but I grew up like in more like around, like it was a lot of it was a Mexican environment, Mexican community that I grew up in a lot, and these they would celebrate all the time. You know, they would celebrate for the smallest things that you could possibly think of. You know what I'm saying? Just call a celebration. Hey, let's just do it. You know what I mean? You go outside. There's a carnival going out there. You know what I mean? I'm like, this is how we supposed to be living. This is how we supposed to be thinking about ourselves. So celebrating ourselves and rewarding ourselves. You know, rewarding ourselves for our accomplishments.
Absolutely. And as my girl Mel's affirmations corner, she says I sell affirmation jars. Yes, please go and get one. And that's another thing. We have to pour into ourselves
Yes,
every
yes,
morning. And how I
yes,
got so confident is I pour into
yes,
myself. One of my
yes.
affirmations is I am courageous and I stand up for myself and others. That is one of my affirmations that I keep saying every single morning I get up. It's a mantra. And I don't know why I get up at 3 a.m. and I do it, but I pray and I talk to God and
Yes.
I do my affirmations. That's everything that I do every single day. And that's how I stay so centered. And I come on, and the confidence you guys see is just oozing out. And the
Yeah, yeah,
reason why is because
yeah,
I take that time. I have my affirmations and I have my talk with God. Like, okay, God, what you got in store for me today? Let's accomplish it. Let's get it out the way. Let's make it amazing. Celebrating all of your accomplishments. Pour into yourself. And I asked the actor just recently and the director, I asked him this question. I said, you have done so much throughout your career. How do you make time to pour into yourself? Self care is important, self indulgence is important. So, for you, how do you take time for yourself?
I make sure that when wake up in the morning, I give myself at least 15 to 20 minutes of just off the grid in your brain. Off the grid, no phones, do not move, don't touch nothing, don't think about anything, don't overthink about something, don't think about what happened yesterday. Just stay still, you know, and clear your mind. Clear it and stay there as long as you can until you can break, until you need to go break, and give yourself that. You deserve that much. You deserve that much. Yes, you do. So
What is a
that's one big thing that I do.
and next one was what's a moment that you would cherish in your life?
I think when I made the decision to go and take some classes of my acting classes. uh, it takes a lot of confidence. You know what I'm saying? To believe in what you love, like it takes a, it really is. It takes a lot of fight. It takes a lot of confidence to believe in what you love. To go out to do the thing that you really want to do in life. So I think that's one of the biggest cherished moments of my life when I had the confidence to go out there to really put myself out there. You know.
Absolutely. If you could go back in time and tell your childhood self something,
Uh,
what would you tell your childhood self?
um, listen to yourself.
Mm,
Listen to yourself a lot first. Too. Listen to yourself first, and you everything is gonna be okay. You know, relax, relax. Everything is gonna be okay. You know what you have to do. You know when to do it, and that's all that matters. You know what you have to do, and take it easy on yourself. You know, take it easy. It's a marathon. It's a long race. It's not a speed. This is not a running. This is not a speed walk. This is not that. It's just one step at a time, one thing at a time.
yes. What has been the most valuable lesson that you've learned in your life?
Um,
Take your time. It's okay. We got you. I got you.
I mean, do it from the heart. You know, do it from the heart. I would say, don't just yeah. Back to what I said before. Listening to yourself, and not and believing in yourself. You know, just trusting yourself, trusting this process, trusting this thing that you want to do. You know, so that's probably one of the biggest part.
How did you reconnect with yourself after loss? Because I know you said you lost your dad. How did you reconnect with yourself? I lost my sister back in 2018, and that was one of the biggest pills me and my family had to swallow. And I know when her birthday rolls around June 29th, it's sort of bittersweet. Like, do we celebrate her? Like, no, we shouldn't be smiling, but she would want us to because she was a happy person. And I know her spirit lingers around in certain ways. And things just happen, good things happen. So, for you, how did you reconnect after the loss of your dad?
I mean, there's plenty of times that I felt like I died. You know, in my life. Honestly, there's plenty of times where I felt like I just didn't exist sometimes. You know, so you have to be able to, like a butterfly. You know, you have to start as a caterpillar,
Yes.
morph yourself, break yourself up. The older I get, the more I realize that this is probably something that we all have to go through. You know, this metamorphosis process that we have to go through, and unfortunately, some might be able to outcome it, to overcome it. I mean, to overcome it, and some might not be able to do it. Yeah. But it's going to turn you. It's going to turn. You're going to become better. You're going to get rebirth. You get rebirth. Become alive again. You become stronger, and you're able to deal with things better. Things don't change. You just get better at it. You know, you change. You got better at it. You learned it how to do it better. So yes, that's the way. Yeah. So that answers your question. Those are some of
You
the things
know,
that I overcame.
so let's get out of that. Let's get to something more lighter and more happier. I know that was kind of deep and
No.
personal, but
Yes. Yes.
we have to
Fine.
tap into the spirit. We have to
Yeah.
tap into the spirit to
Yes, we
get
do.
where we're at right now at this point. So yesterday was the SAG Awards,
Oh
and I
man.
see this tall, handsome looking something suited up yesterday. So tell us, what was it like attending the SAG Awards? Because it was so many actors networking when you shared. I seen the clips you shared. So
Yeah.
many of you networking, getting out. What was it like
Oh my
yesterday?
God. It was amazing. It was wonderful. It was everything that I could think of. It's just people in the room who are working actors who are trying every day to get themselves, their voices heard. It was amazing. It was wonderful. The camera, the red carpet, the just the hospitality was great. The energy was laughter, cheerful. Everybody's smiling. Everybody's happy. It reminded me of why I wanted to do this. Why this is important to me in my life, because I wanted to be with people that believe in themselves, that have things, that believe in themselves and believe in their art. So it was amazing. Like, oh my gosh, like I guess I get more. I love the speeches that they make at the SAG Awards. I got the awards. Some of them have some very inspirational things that they say, and they have a short amount of time to fit to fit all of this. Like, how do they all come together at that small specific time? I'm like, oh my gosh, you just helped me. You just really helped me with what you just said. I was like, oh my God. Um you know yeah, so I love dressing up and going out. You know, I love that. As a kid, I grew up in church a lot of times, so I had to grow up. I had to dress up all the time. So dressing up to me has always been a wonderful thing. So everybody in there was dressed to impress, sharp, looking their best, happy, being themselves, and taking pictures and videos and recording themselves at their highest moment. So yeah, I went out. I went out and did this for. I went out and did it for myself also. I said, I have to go make this because yeah, this is probably not. We're not in California. It's cold outside. You know what I mean? It's not the best temperatures at night, but it was worth it. Everything was worth it about it. Oh my gosh.
And there's so many highlights from the night. Which one was your favorite highlight? Because I've seen you snap some pics with other actors and names as well too. So what was your favorite highlight from the night from the
Oh,
SAGs?
the best highlight. I mean, like, of course, taking a picture in like we all take individual pictures in the red carpet with the backdrop of the SAG and everything. So that is also a good moment right there, of course. And they'll develop the pictures and they'll post them online, which should be coming soon. And everybody gets that. Everybody gets that individual picture. Um, but for the most part, it was probably just seeing the people that I know, just seeing people that I know in how we grew up together in the industry, and seeing that their success and they're being successful, they're booking, they're working, they're auditioning. We can talk about our shared auditioning experiences, and we can talk about sharing on set experiences. These are the things that, as an actor, we thrive on, we lean on, because we have each other to support and to give each other feedback.
Absolutely. Absolutely. 100%. So speaking of feedback, let's go through your acting work here. I mean, 2 days in the village, you've done Dominic
Mm.
Bain, you've done I've Got Now Forever, Fight City. The list goes on and on. Now, as I go through and I list some, which piece of your work stands out to you? Which one do you go
Um,
back and say,
there's
wow?
there's like I don't know, that the director then Jason Moreira, he doesn't have it on the IMDb credit, but there's two films that I have on YouTube that you can check out also. One is called The Devil's Courier. It doesn't have anything to do. It's not a horror. It's just a title, and it's very an emotional piece. And there's another one that I have called Americana Pulp. It's also on YouTube. I have the links for both of those if anybody needs to want to go see it. Um, and those are like two lead roles that I had, and those are probably the most impactful roles that I've played because I had the most material in it. You know, number one on the call sheet on those. Yeah. So Americana Pope. I mean, that movie to me was like so it was a short film that I did. I'm an actor that I don't play games when I get to set. Like I'm straight to work, everything. I'm prepared. You know what I'm saying? Like I get straight to it. You know. So we shot this film. It's like 20 minutes long. A short film, and um, we did it. We shot this. We did this movie in. It's like probably less than 5 hours. The film was done. Yeah, as far as like yeah, because like I said, it was a lot of it was dialogue driven. So you know, all we needed to have is just me and the other actor. We were the most important part in this film, and we got it and we did it, and it was mind blowing.
And Mel says she wants to see it, so you guys can go and check it out. You said it's on YouTube.
Yeah, yeah. It's called.
And
So I have two of them. One is called The Devil's Courier. That's an emotional piece right there. I got down and I tears, truthfully tears, very emotional piece because I'm able to take it there when it comes to that. And the other one is Americana Pope, Americana Pope, Pulp, Pope, and it's on YouTube also. You can check it out if you want to.
go and check it out, Mel. Make sure you guys go and support. Check out these
Because
projects.
those two, I'm lead. I'm in every like I'm the lead of the film, you know. So you don't have to wait for me to come on camera. You know what I'm saying? It's just right to the point.
So with everything, because you have two projects that is also on the way as well too,
Yeah,
and more. I'm pretty sure
yeah,
of it. You
yeah,
played an array of characters.
yeah.
So for these next two projects, what can we expect from you in these next two projects?
Well, I have the one is in there is called Inside the Mind. I worked on and those are just I just have like a co like you could say a co-star role and a day player, yeah, co-star role, and and the first one I played I played a husband to I play a husband and my wife is in it and the role that I played in that one was it was dramatic. You know, me and my wife, we I walk into a difficult situation when I come out of work. I'm supposed to be coming out of work and I walk into a situation that is not. It deals with a lot of mental um cases. So each episode it's like its own separate thing. So you won't have to see the last episode to know what's happened to the new episode. Yeah, and then on the second one, Trouble in Law, that one I played like a real estate, like a kind of real estate agent. He was in the office, kind of thing. Yeah, it's just again, it's a co-star role. It wasn't like that much dialogue, but it was a big role. It was for me. It's big. Every role is big. You know, there's no small roles. But it was came in dressed as it, and actually that one was interesting because I think I got like the sides, for the script like the same day. It was like a rush call principal work. It was like, can you get here? I think she texted me. She was like, I need you to get here by in 3 hours, 4 hours. Can you do that? And here's the script. It was like that. Like here's the script. Here's the sides. I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna do it. I get there. So I just rehearsed it as much as I can before I got there, and I was able to deliver.
Yes, yes. So you guys have to stay tuned. Now, with these other two projects that are coming out, what is next for you in the year
Well,
2025?
honestly, like I'm in a place where so when I started in my career, in my acting career, I wasn't auditioning as much. I was working on a lot of films. Like I worked on a lot of films because they probably auditioned me when I got to set, kind of thing. So when I got there, I guess my mannerisms was caught their attention. Um, it must have been capturing the way my mannerism at that time. So that was like, and then one thing led to another. It was like, oh, did you see him in this? It was pretty good. And then that's the audition. The what they seen you in, like they seen you in a project already. So if I see you in that, then I'm pretty sure you can do it again, right? So
Yeah.
that's how my thing came. Like we got this thing where casting is just, it's the way it is. We can't, I respect it, and I love casting directors. They are our gatekeepers in a way. But what I'm trying to say is it's like we I want to see you actually in there, because just because you can do this audition doesn't necessarily mean it will transfer in a scene. Like you'll be able to get when you get the set. Like when you get the set, it's a different thing there. But this thing doesn't get talked about or whatever. So you know what? But for me, because I'm able to perform when I get there, when I'm on set, I think that helped me. And then people seeing that there, producers and directors, writers, they see me and they're like, oh no, I want to work with him. I want to put him in another project. And then one thing leads to another. Then I'm on another project because they see me in this project. So that's how my thing started. But um, now I'm more into I'm doing audition, because that's another thing. Auditioning and self taping, it's another thing. Like it's complex.
Yes.
There are ways that doesn't you can't just pop up on your screen and start to. No, there's ways to go about it. There's steps. There's classes. Just because you went to acting class doesn't mean that you know how to do an audition and or self tape. Like you might need a separate class just for that, just for the audition or the self and tape, because it's a different thing. So yeah.
And I'm so glad you brought that up because when the pandemic hit back in 2020, it was difficult for a lot of actors
Hmm.
they were doing self-tapes at home. And versus where everything now is back open where you can go in person and audition for the cast and director. That I prefer that process of actually going and letting the see it in person in real time, and then we'll give you a call back versus having to wait a few days. It was just completely different from 2020 to now 2025.
Oh yes, it is. Like um so this industry is a living organism. It's constantly evolving, it's constantly
Yes.
changing. So we have to keep our ear in the business, in the industry. Not, but most times, because we have to be ready for these changes to come, and we have to adapt to that. So, like you said, the pandemic also hurt us a lot. So, I guess that one thing worked with doing self tapes at home. So they just went with that. I kind of like it. There's good and bad to it, like everything. So, but yeah, it worked. They're able to see more people, and because of that. So maybe there is a good thing for you, for your opportunity, because an audition in person, they might have only been able to bring in 10, 15 people. But because of self tapes, and you are at home doing it, they can see 150 people now. Hello? Are you trying to be one of those 150 people?
Exactly.
So that's where we at right now. So yeah, there's good and bad to it. There's good and bad to it. But I don't think auditions in person have been completely um, shut down. They still happen, but not as often.
A big difference from 2020 to now, where everything is open. You're able to go and do it in person, but people are still doing the self audition tapes. And I say, keep going. Hard work, and when that casting director sees that dedication, you will get that role. You might not get it in that moment. You might get a call back. You could be doing something, and you could be getting an email saying, "Hey, you got the part." So just keep at it. Keep going. All right, fashion dolls. Uh, it is time.
Yes.
Now, You guys missed it. It's been a minute since we did it. It is time now. We get into our rapid five, which you've had here, and then we are going to do something called turn the tables. So he's going to ask me as many questions as he wants to. And this is for my new viewers. You get to know a little bit about me through his questionings. All right.
Yes.
So we are going to start out with the rapid five. What are five things you can't live without?
Oh, wow, wow. Well, one, I would have to say, of course, nature. I can't live without nature. Back to that. Number two, um, I can't live without, like, I like to go to museum, a theater, like theater. To me, theater is important. Seeing it, seeing it live is those people that do that. I I I give my all to them. No, number three, I can't live without. Um, what's my go-to? I like pizza, so I eat pizza. Pizza is one of my
Me too. I
yeah.
love pepperoni.
Pizza is like one of my things. I don't know. It's just the quickest food to eat whenever I think about quick food. Number four, it would have to be, of course, books. I love to read books. Books are always a way of exercising the brain. Um,
Yes.
and number five is, yeah, just maybe, um, I don't know. I mean, smoothies. I like smoothies. I love to make smoothies. Fruit smoothies is one of my things, my go-to.
And there you have it, fashion dolls. Chicago pizza. There's Chicago pizza, there's New York pizza, and then there's the traditional pizza places, Pizza Hut, Domino's, all of that. But it's so many. But that's what we had over the weekend too. So it's so crazy you say that. But and I said that's one of my guilty pleasures is pepperoni pizza. So
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Pepperoni pizza. Um, yeah. I guess those are the five things. I love the gym. Of course, I would have to put working out. Also up there too with the gym. Going to the gym is always. I've always played sports. So when I was little, like I told you, so I think that was my gym. But when the ladder climbs, now it's like you're on your own.
yeah.
There's a point in life where we're on our own, right? When we, at certain point in time, things are kind of just done for you. The schedule, it's laid out for you already. But when the schedule, when you get the schedule, there isn't any more schedule sometimes, and you're the one that have to make up the schedule.
Yes.
Yeah. So the gym, yeah, that's my thing now.
All right, fashion dolls. My heart is beating fast for this next segment. I have no clue what he is going to ask me. So I'm going to pass it on down. It is now time to turn those tables. Take it away, Javed.
Um, yeah. What are your five things? Well, no. Um, what how did you get started?
I started right after high school, believe it or not, in 2016. And I had no clue what I was doing, no experience. And it wasn't really originally called Style by Stevie back then. We would call it Weekdays Topics because I would cover so many things that would be going on in the world. But then I have friends who are in the business who do music, who do film, and I'm saying, okay, they need a platform where they can go and they can talk about their projects they have coming out, where they can network and meet other artists and promote whatever it is that they have, you know, coming out as well too. So sitting in my room brainstorming randomly one day, and I said, boom, it's got to have a name, Style by Stevie. And that's how we came up. And I combined all of the things that I love, which is film, fashion, music,
Wow.
all together.
Wow.
And that's how it was born back in 2016, right after I graduated high school. And since then, we're
Yeah.
still going strong.
Yeah.
And you guys have seen the transition, the progression, all of the different things from then to now, where we're currently in 19 and almost at 800
Wow.
interviews.
Wow.
So this will be interview
Wow.
752. We're currently at 751. This will be 752. We are on the road to 800 and it's
Wow.
still going
Wow.
on and on and on.
That's
So
great.
yeah.
That's amazing. That's great. Damn. A lot of people start, but it's hard to keep going and to finish. All right. Well, you're never finishing. It's everlasting. It's forever. So, right. So, yeah. So I have to. So that's one thing. That's one question I asked you, right? You want me to ask you 5 questions?
As many as you want. You can ask five, as many as you want.
And what is like what do you what do you hope to accomplish? Like what do you hope to get from this platform that you have? Um, what is something that you want to make sure that you get done, that you accomplish, and that people receive from you?
I want people to have an escape. I want people to have a getaway from everything that's going on in the world. And I also want them to be informed from my platform as well too, to take something away, because I know watching news outlets can be boring, watching certain things can be boring, but you have to make it entertaining. And with me, I always try to make it as entertaining as possible, whether it's with the guests, whether it's with the different fashions. I always try to do different things to shake the platform up a little bit. And what I hope to accomplish is to make people aware of what's going on, make them open their eyes, make them think a certain way in life, a different way of certain things, or maybe take their career and circumstances
Mm.
and say, okay, I want to make this career move. So the goal of my platform and my sole purpose and accomplishment is I want you to walk away feeling empowered. I want you to walk away feeling good about yourself. I want you to know that through no matter what, whatever dark circumstance or obstacle, that there is always going to be bright light at the end of that tunnel. And that's something that I've always stood for when I first started back in 2016. I wanted you to get laughter. I wanted you to have joy. And that's mostly what I continue to do this thing for, is to bring joy and happiness to people. So yeah.
Amazing. Amen. Amen to that. It's working. It's working, girl. It's definitely working. God bless that. God bless you for that. But thank you for finding me. You know, and really, really thank you for finding me. Uh, as an artist, you don't pick people; they pick you. You know, life too, and life too. Things find you. Things don't pass you, like you said, right? They don't pass you. If it's meant for you, no. It'll find you. Don't push it. Don't reach too
Yes.
much. Don't push it. Don't go against the grain. Listen to yourself, and love what's loving you. Love what's loving you. Manifestations, affirmations. These things are true. It will. It comes. You have to put in work too. We're not saying that you're gonna sit around and things are just gonna happen. Things come to you when you work hard for them.
And you have to get up and take action. Don't just sit there. I was listening to a video today from someone, and they were saying, yeah, you can listen to motivational speeches and things all day, but they are not nothing if you don't take action on them. So it's important that you get up and you move and you take action. Like I sat there when I was in my room brainstorming, and I just randomly came up with Style by Stevie, get up and take action. And I also got it trademarked. So me and my mom went through the whole process. We had to write and get my name trademarked, Style by Stevie. So that's something people didn't know, but yes, it's mine's.
Well,
I own it.
I was having trouble when teachers, acting coaches would tell me um, you have to like become this character, right?
Hmm.
This character is something that you have to become. Is um, so I'm like, you know, that wasn't transferring to me the way they were explaining it. It was like, okay, so I'm becoming this character. So I was like, I was being fake. I felt like I was not being myself because I'm this character. This is what this is what I'm supposed to do. But in reality, you it's kind of the other way around. You are this like you are first. Like you are
Absolutely.
like you don't be this character. Don't say that to the person. No. Be you, how you are, like how you talk. and how you move, this is the character. Like you might have to record yourself so you can hear yourself and you can listen to yourself. That's the person that you are in this character, not this different kind of voice or unless you're playing like a biopic, right? Or unless you're playing a biopic or you're playing a person of historical moments, right? Now that's different. You have to talk, the dialect changes and things like that. But if that's not the case, that you have is you, how you talk, how you jump, how you laugh, how you cry, how you mad. That's who the character is, you know. So that to me took time for me to see it in that way, you know. So, but I say that because we say about things come like things won't pass you because you have to put in that work of who. It's kind of crazy because it's like you kind of don't have to do the work because you're playing you. Who knows you
Yeah.
more than you? Who knows you more than you? You know. So it's like don't fake it, just be you. You know what I mean? But that it takes a little work because now you have to not be something that you're not. Now you can't play something else. You're playing you. So that takes fight because you want to sound, you want to probably do something else but it's not that. It's interpreted into who you are. So that's when the work comes in, when you practice on you. So also the way that how you practice on you is you are aware, mindful of your day-to-day life.
Yes.
What when you when you walking down the street and somebody cut you off, how does that make you? How did you react to that? How did you respond to that? How did you respond to when you probably smelled smoke coming from the stove because something was burning and you had to run over there to get it? So you're paying attention to your day to day life, like how you react to how you react to in your life to things, and you bringing that into the camera, into the picture.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
it takes effort because now you have to pay attention. You have to be conscious in your habits day to day. You know, you have to be paying attention to it's kind of an out of body thing because you're looking at yourself when you're doing certain things. And sometimes when we're doing certain things, we're not really paying, we're just doing it. So we're not even thinking like that. It's like, I just do it. Yeah. But but you have to be able to to think of yourself. How did you do this? How did you react to that? You know, and how it made you, and why did it make you react to it?
And I also want to add this too. When to any actor, when you are going on set and you are transforming into another character and you're playing a specific role, you put on that character's shoes. And I said this last week to someone. You put on that character's shoes and you are walking in that character's shoes. You're carrying that character's cross. And it's important that you bring it to life and be able to turn it off when you go home. Because I've seen where actors, Kiki Palmer is an example of that. And she told a funny story. She said, okay, when I did one of my roles, I brought the character home and I was talking like the character, like what the character would say. And my parents, my family was looking at me like, girl, what is you talking about? Like you still have the character mindset inside of you. So you have to be able to turn it on and then turn it off. Big difference, and that's for every actor. There's a lot of actors out here that are method actors, and they sometimes bring the character home with them. So you have to be able to turn it on and turn it off. On set, do that then, and then when that director
I,
calls cut,
I,
okay,
I got I got cast a
yeah,
lot. I remember I got cast a lot because whenever I had to go to on set, I had the character. I dressed like the character when I go to set. Like I don't have a book bag or like a duffel bag with my clothes there, with my
yes,
clothes there from the cat. Like I have it on already. I wake up in the morning and put the clothes on, and then I go to set with that on. So I think that was that one of the things that kind of caught people's attention there, and we're like, that's the guy. You know what I'm saying? Look, he's already there. Like he's already dressed up like it. He looks homeless already. He's dressed like he doesn't have to change to do it. So those are the things. But like a lot of people, sometimes you might need to seek therapy because of this character took you,
yes.
and you might need to talk to somebody because you really took it there, and you haven't been able to digress, to step back from that character. So. I think Michael B. Jordan said he had to get some help for the character that he played in Black Panther. He played
Oh,
yeah, the
Killmonger.
character that he
Yes.
played forgot what was his name, his character name in Black Panther. It wasn't T'Challa. T'Challa's is Black Panther, but I forgot it. Killmonger.
Killmonger.
Killmonger. Killmonger. Yeah, Killmonger was his character, and he said he had to go and seek some help and stuff because it was very deep.
Heath Ledger. Heath Ledger is another example. Lupita, when she did Us, she said, I literally had to detox this character out of me. It was so toxic. Us was a horror film, but Jordan, I think it was Jordan Peele. And she said, I literally had to detox this character out of me because it was so draining. Because again, you're carrying that character's cross with you
Yeah.
on set. So these things actually happen. And you have to be like, okay, I'm no longer the character now. I'm back to myself now. So
Yeah.
I can breathe.
Yeah. Yeah. That's true.
So before we wrap Fashion Dolls, Jafet, what are some encouraging words? Because I just love you. I love how
Thank you.
encouraging you are. And what are some gems that you would give to people along the way to have a healthy and
Um,
amazing 2025?
the one I would say one thing. I would wrap it up with one thing. I would say, turn your broken heart into art. That's all I have to say with that.
And to add on to what Jafet just said, I'm going to leave you guys with the final word of the day, which comes from MLK Jr. And he says, you don't have to see the whole staircase, just take the first step. And sometimes, as we discussed in the beginning, mid part of our conversation, change can be scary. The inevitable, as Jafet said when he opened the interview, can be scary for a lot of us. Well, me being a fashion girl, I'm used to change 24/7 because I'm always different looks every day. Every day is a different look. I
Yeah.
don't like to stay the same.
Mhm.
And one of my friends jokingly called me a chameleon. We all have to be chameleons in this moment, in this time right now.
Yeah.
And as Jafet said it as it pertains to the caterpillar and then turning into the butterfly, coming out of that cocoon. It can be scary, but when you spread your wings and you learn how to fly, it's a beautiful feeling. So I want you all to walk away feeling divine, your divine purpose.
Mm.
I want you all to walk away knowing that it's going to be okay. Whatever dark period or cloud is hanging over you, that you too will get through this. And my mom was like, did you read? Because she gave me a Bible verse to read. And I read that Bible verse. She said, well, I want you to read Psalm 94. And it talks about God being the judge, the jury, everything. And how also I tie that into life as well too. God is the judge, the executioner, the jury. He's all of that. But we are also in charge of our lives as well too. We are also the jury. We're also the judge. So we can judge ourselves and make our own decisions based off of what we want to do with our careers, with our passion, with our family, and how we choose to go further. Change can be scary, but you never know unless you don't take that first step. And trust me, when I created this platform, I had to step out on faith. And I can go all the way back to my very first interview where I had the boom, what was it like, the sound system with the speaker box, and had to adjust the speaker box, and it was me sitting on a stool interviewing the guests on this tiny little screen. Now I'm able to see the guests. You guys are able to see us in full time, in full color, in
Yeah.
living color.
That's
So big difference from then 2016 all the way up until now 2025. So this is your year, this is your season. Go for it. If you want to get that business certified, get that business certified. If you want to go out here and work on expanding, growing your business in other countries, growing it, okay, I want to open a store or a restaurant here. I want to open a store and a restaurant here. Expand that business. Now's the time to do it. And rightfully so. So that's what I wanted to leave you all with, Fashion Dolls. And before we let you go, where can everyone check you out? Because I would love to have you back on again.
You can check me out. My name across pretty much all social media platforms. Jafet Perez, Jafet Perez. Um, I'm there through all the platforms. I usually try to update my actors' profiles as much as I can and keep people updated, keep people engaged in what's going on in the business. in the industry. Um, yeah, so you can catch me there.
We have it, Fashion Dolls, ladies and gentlemen, Jafet Perez, and it was such a pleasure chatting with you. And we will definitely keep in touch because I want to have you back on the show for the summer. So I'm gonna send you some summer dates. And you guys can check out this full interview on Style by Stevie Daytime on YouTube. Joining me tomorrow is Two Show Tuesday. We have Marcellus, the champion, and we have Laquan Jackson tomorrow. So make sure you guys tune in. I love you, and I will see you guys then. Talk to you later.
Bye bye.
Take care.